It's basically like late 2019, early 2020, you know, I just like was doubting myself. I was just kind of super down in the dumps, and I just wanted to like, I was not in like a good headspace, and I don't know how to describe it. It was such like a mental thing for me, because I was like just getting pulled so many different ways of like what to do, what should I do, you know, like I have this group of best friends who are building something awesome, you know, like my dad wants me to take over the seeding business. There's this guy who's supposed to be some magical prince that's going to lead me to the promised land, and I totally like put all my trust and everything into that. I just like threw my sack over my shoulder and put my eggs in those baskets, you know, and just got straight kicked in the balls. But that's the thing. And I just like, I kind of just went for it. And then I couldn't figure out what it was. And even like after he was gone and like me and Pat were going and all that stuff, like my mental mindset would slowly get better, but I couldn't figure it out. And honestly, up until maybe 3 months ago, I've like finally started to dial it in. Like, and it's crazy. And obviously there's so much that happens in between that, but
man, I'm happy to hear
that. Like, what do you mean? Like, what'd you dial in? Like,
I never told anybody this, and like, I haven't told my dad, my family, and nothing, but like 2 months ago, I started going to like therapy and stuff, and like just talking to people about like what's been going on in my life. Like, I don't know, I'll be like in the best mood ever, and I'm so good at like distracting myself from what like I think about when I'm alone. And like, I think that's why it's so easy to like create content and fun, because you know, when you're just out laughing and having smiles, you know, it's so easy to just not think about that stuff. But like over time it would just build and build and build and build and build, and like I just it really messed with my head, dude, you know. And I kind of in the last 2 months just like totally flip-flopped my life. Like I started going to church every Sunday, started going to the gym every morning. This is like maybe a little personal, but I quit like jacking off.
Really?
Yeah, totally stopped that. I take ice baths every day, and like every Thursday I go to therapy. And as of the last 2 months, like I've just been freaking dialed, you know. I mean, for the longest time, and you told me this yesterday, I'm like, maybe I'm drinking too much. So I stopped drinking for like 9 months and 6 days a couple years ago, and that didn't do shit to my mental health. And like I couldn't figure out what it was.
I feel like you definitely are looking the best, the most healthy I've ever seen you in my life.
Yeah.
I went from 225 to 181.6 this morning.
Woo! Yeah. Dude, you're dialed. I mean, and obviously you can just tell in your face, like everything. And you're the most in shape you've ever been. But also, I will say, speaking to your mental, you're much more predictable. I shouldn't say predictable, but you're much less unpredictable now. You used to be very unpredictable and wild, and maybe partly the reason why you maybe weren't super happy with, I mean, you would be able to answer this, with your position at that time when you were still in CboysTV, was like you were showing up, and for one, we didn't typically ever have a plan. Like we didn't know what the fuck we were doing. But for two, you just were kind of like showing up, and it was like, just be you, be funny, just do whatever, you know, like, and kind of everyone was doing that. So it makes it stressful not having a plan, not having any organization, and then you're kind of like this wild man.
Don't get me wrong. We were filming it during the moment. I loved every single second of that. But it was like I wasn't learning anything. I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't getting any skills, you know. And I was just chasing a dragon, which was like a dopamine rush of having fun, you know. And I just felt like it just kind of wore me out, because it was like, how long can I hold this up? And it just kind of taxed me out, and I was just kind of looking for a outlet, you know.